From the campus of the University of Alabama, live, local news. From Alabama's home team, this is WVUA News at 10.
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
3 women taken over the past decade have all been found alive. The details are straight ahead. Plus,
local veterans will once again get their chance to travel to Washington to see their war memorials. I'm Travis Leader. I'll show you how.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Sparkman.
And I'm Tamika Alexander. We start with amazing news out of Ohio tonight. 3 missing women who have been missing for more than 10 years have been found alive at a home in Cleveland.
For more on this developing story, we are joined by WVUA's Victoria Sheehan. Victoria, we've been following this story all evening long, and what's the latest?
Well, Daniel, this is an incredible story we've been following. Right now, we know that these 3 women have been missing for at least 9 years. Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight disappeared in separate cases between 2002 and 2004. Police say all 3 are doing okay. They were found together at the same Cleveland home along with several children. Neighbors say they heard Berry screaming for help from inside the home. One witness says he helped kick in the door to free the women, and that is when Amanda Berry called 911.
Cleveland 911, you need...
Hello, please. Help me, I'm Amanda Berry.
You need police, fire, or ambulance.
I need police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
Okay, and what's your address? Calling me from... Looks like you're calling me from...
I can't hear you.
It looks like you were calling me from...
Across the street, I'm using the phone.
Okay, stay there with those neighbors. Talk to the police when they get there.
Okay.
Now, a 52-year-old man is in custody, but this is a developing story, so there are still a lot of questions that have not been answered yet. There is a press conference with local authorities in Ohio scheduled for tomorrow. Whenever we know more, we will, of course, update you.
All right, thanks, Victoria. A collision between a train and a car in Birmingham has left the family and friends of a mother and her son mourning. Police say it happened shortly after noon Saturday at a train crossing at the intersection of Harrison Avenue and 17th Way Southeast. Authorities say 40-year-old Consuelo Levine Gurley and her 12-year-old son Michael Sharif Erskine Jr. died after the Sunday afternoon crash. An Amtrak spokesman said the train was traveling between New York and New Orleans, and none of the 83 passengers on board were injured.
The trial for the prime suspect, Nathan Wilkins, was supposed to begin today, but it has been delayed. And of course, we're talking about Tuscaloosa's downtown shooting. Tuscaloosa County Circuit Judge Brad Allman's office told us Wilkins' trial has been continued. Officials say they are not sure when it will start, but they say on July 17th of last year is when Wilkins shot and injured 18 people at the Copper Top Bar in Timberson Square in downtown Tuscaloosa. Earlier that same night, authorities say he shot and wounded a person in Northport. Wilkins has pleaded not guilty in the case. And according to court documents, Wilkins sent a letter last Monday to Judge Allman asking for the death penalty and stating he was sorry to everyone involved. Wilkins is being held in the Tuscaloosa County Jail on a $2 million bond.
A teenager has been charged with attempted murder. Police say it happened around 1:30 Sunday afternoon on 26th Avenue. In addition to attempted murder, 17-year-old Levante Deshaun Wilson is also facing charges of shooting into an occupied dwelling. According to Lieutenant Kip Hart, a 21-year-old woman was struck in the arm by a ricochet when the suspect allegedly shot into the residence. Wilson is being charged as an adult.
A controversial church is planning a protest at the University of Alabama. Westboro Baptist Church from Topeka, Kansas is planning to picket the university on Saturday, May 18th. According to their website, they want to remind the university of the wrath of God that visited 2 years ago when they did not have finals and graduation was canceled. According to the City of Tuscaloosa spokesperson Deidre Stallnicker, Westboro Baptist has not applied for a permit yet.
Now to news from around the Alabama legislature. Efforts by some lawmakers to put new restrictions on payday loans and title loans are dead for the 2013 legislative session. 2 Democratic representatives sponsor bills to lower the interest rates that could be charged on payday loans and title loans to 36% annually. Those bills stalled in a House committee after industry leaders said the bills would put them out of business. Then Senate President Pro Tem Del Marsh offered a bill to lower rates on payday loans, but not as much as the House legislation. Marsh said his bill is dead because there isn't enough support or time left in the session to pass it.
Now to news from the city of Northport. The landfill used to dispose of Tuscaloosa County waste was given new life today. The Northport City Council granted host government approval for the Black Warrior Solid Waste Facility tonight, and that means the facility will be able to expand. According to Ken Thrasher with Black Warrior Solid Waste, the facility has a current lifespan of 20 years, and that's based off of basic everyday use. But Thrasher says there are factors that could shorten that lifespan.
Things that could accelerate that, of course, would be like the tornadoes 2 years ago, because tornadoes created an additional approximately 1 year use of the facility just in the few hours that the tornadoes lasted.
With host government approval, the facility can now expand and add years of life to the landfill. Thrasher says this will ensure the facility's 65 years to continue serving the community. Well, local war veterans are getting another opportunity to see historic monuments and memorials in our nation's capital.
And that's right. WVUA's Travis Leader joins us now live in the studio. And Travis, this is an event that we here at the station have been a part of for many years now.
Absolutely. And the Tuscaloosa Rotary Club is once again sponsoring for the 4th time the Honor Flight. Now, these flights have taken 245 World War II veterans, and this year Korean War vets will also get their opportunity to go to Washington.
We'll be taking around 165 people to Washington, D.C., to the nation's capital, including 85 to 90 World War II and Korean War veterans.
And for some of these war veterans, despite their travels and accomplishments, this moment sticks out.
I would say it's one of the most impressive events of my life, and I've had a few.
Sometimes these events help younger generations remember what dangers these people went through decades ago.
I don't think they quite understand sometimes the sacrifices that people make for our country, that we might live in freedom today.
But at the same time, these men feel like they were just doing their duty as Americans.
None of us felt like that we were heroes, that we had done what literally a million others had done to serve their country.
It will also give some another opportunity to pay respects to their fallen brethren.
One of my childhood friends, he was killed in the Vietnam War, and I walked to the Arlington Cemetery up there and laid my hand on his monument while I was visiting there.
The vets will be flying to Washington, D.C. May 18th. Everyone will board a plane at Tuscaloosa Regional Airport early in the morning and arrive back in Alabama by the evening. So it's quite a whirlwind day for these people, and we are happy to be providing coverage once again on such a special event.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Travis.
Thanks, Travis.
Alabama farmers say they're trying to cope with several weeks of cool temperatures and, as we all know, excessive rainfall, which has oversaturated the soil.
Agriculture experts say that has slowed farming across the state, which could threaten yields. Farmer Keith Bryant says he's been slowed down in the efforts to plant 400 acres of cotton this year, but he said his cotton harvest will be fine as long as he can plant by May 15th. Statistics from the USDA's Alabama field office showed that the amount of crops planted so far this year in the state are far below what was planted during the same period last year and the 5-year average for the state.
Now, Tamika, I don't know about you, but I got a little damp today out there in all this rainfall we saw.
And it's just not feeling like May out there. I'm a little disappointed. Let's get a check with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott and see what's going on. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Tamika and Daniel. Lots of rain to talk about earlier today, but the good news is finally starting to dry things out. A couple of showers over extreme North Alabama, the Tennessee Valley, a couple of showers down over parts of Hale County and Greene County, moving south. Showers going to thin out tonight. Not much more rain to talk about. The big band of rain we had earlier and numerous showers are pretty much out of here, but some fog will likely develop late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Here's that bus stop forecast for Tuesday morning. Around 7 a.m. temperatures in the low 50s, a partly cloudy start to the day. I also expect a little bit of fog in the area. There could still be a light shower early, but most of it's going to be dry tomorrow. We'll talk about the rest of that forecast. Plus, we'll look at the weekend outlook. I've got some kind of bad news for the weekend, but we'll talk about it coming up in weather.
Thanks, Richard. Private and religious schools want to make sure Alabama's new tax credits and scholarships for private school attendance don't lead to the state government having a role in their operations. They're concerned about one proposed change in the law that would require schools accepting the scholarship students to test participating students and report their scores to the state revenue department. The department would hire a researcher to analyze them and recommend improvements. The executive director of the Alabama Christian Education Association, Robin Mears, said the concept of the law is sound, but schools won't go along with the proposed government involvement.
Some of the top students in the Tuscaloosa City school system are being honored for their achievement. The system honored its first Scholars Dinner at the Tuscaloosa River Mart. This event honored the top 10 students of each graduating class. The students and their families were treated to a dinner sponsored by the Tuscaloosa City Schools Education Foundation. When Paul W. Bryant High School senior says this event is a great way to give students incentives.
I think it's great to motivate students to want to become a part of this. It's a great way to encourage student academics and involvement. I think it's a great idea.
Tonight's musical entertainment was provided by the Southview Elementary World Drums Ensemble.
Downtown Tuscaloosa is changing, all thanks to a new Embassy Suites hotel. According to Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox, plans for a hotel in this area have been about 7 years in the making. Construction for the long-awaited Embassy Suites hotel has officially gotten underway. A groundbreaking ceremony was held this morning to officially kick off construction on the new hotel. The future hotel is set to have 154 suites, 3 private dining rooms, a fitness center, an indoor pool, 5,300 square feet of conference space, and a fine dining restaurant. During this morning's ceremony, the developers of the hotel announced the restaurant will be run by Chef Chris Hastings, who is the owner of Hot and Hot Fish Club in Birmingham. Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox says all these features will bring more people to the area.
When you look at who will be staying in this market, 75% of the people that will be occupying the rooms here have been staying in the Birmingham, Jefferson County market. So what we're going to be able to do is go out and get people that may be doing business at Mercedes or doing business at the university, who would normally be staying in that market and driving in, can now come and stay in Tuscaloosa.
Now, as far as seeing movement at the construction site, the developers say we could be seeing it as early as next week. The project is scheduled to be complete in the fall of 2014. And when WVUA News at 10 returns, a new front is emerging in the debate over gun control in the U.S. as some members of Congress seek to ban firearms that can be made through the technology of 3D printing.
And a decision will soon be made on where to build the new Sandy Hook Elementary School.
And Alabama quarterback A.J. McCarron took center stage at the Talladega Superspeedway on Sunday. Gary Harris will have all the details in Alabama's home team sports.
And before we go to break, don't forget to follow your home team on Twitter. Follow us for the latest breaking news and what's happening all around Alabama and beyond.